A little bit about calcium. Just some basic facts. That some the foundation of what it is. Calcium is the most abundant mineral in the human body. 99% of calcium may be found in bones and teeth. That's what we all learned in school and everything. The remaining 1%, however, is responsible for many essential functions internally. This is why calcium to me is fascinating. To properly function, calcium must interact with magnesium, boron, vitamin A, C, and D. It's kind of like almost like an orchestra of all of them working together. It's important since calcium is one of the most difficult minerals to absorb. Now, keep that in mind. Calcium is one of the most difficult minerals to absorb. Think about that. For men and women. And when people get older, as your digestion changes, it makes it even harder to absorb. And we'll get into that a little bit later. Due to dietary intake now of, what we eat, malabsorption of millions of people is likely, millions of people are likely deficient in both calcium and magnesium. The major function of calcium, including, the bones and teeth part, calcium regulates sleep, playing a major role in the acid alkaline balance or imbalance, if it was. Balanced potassium, sodium for muscle tone. It aids in regulating heartbeat. It aids in muscle contractions and nerve transmission. If you suffer from leg cramps, like for example, me particularly, I had leg cramps really bad, and I did a lot of research and figured out, I didn't know what it was. And I learned that leg cramps, especially at night, is because of the ratio from calcium to magnesium is more than likely out of balance. Calcium causes the muscles to contract and magnesium causes them to relax. So if you have leg cramps, hey, look, that's just a little morsel out of this little video. If you have leg cramps at night, more than likely your absorption of calcium and or magnesium is to blame. As we age, absorption of calcium can be less and less as our digestion decreases. That's just something of getting old. We're all going to be subject to it from one time or another. It's estimated that as little as 25% of ingested calcium is actually absorbed. So right there, that should tell you, right there, straight off the bat, it should tell you that man or woman needs extra calcium. Fortunately, there are steps that we can take to increase this. Some calcium is, all calcium is absorbed in an acid environment. That's why here at Phoenix Nutritionals, we pre-acidify the calcium. Very important process that not a lot of companies do. This process is called chelation. You may know about it if you're into nutrition. A lot of people do. We make the calcium in the supplement form, which makes it way more bioavailable. And what I mean by the supplement form, in a capsule, not a tablet. And that's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. But that is what's really, really important in the process. And we can get into that in a whole nother video. Over time, calcium deficiencies can lead to, like I said, leg cramps, also numbness, nervousness, heart palpitations, although it's not always, but that's severe deficiency can lead to that. Through the use of multiple chelating agents such as citrate, malate, amino acids, and other chelates, calcium can be made better to absorb. And as you know, like they say, for women, they tend to be a little bit more worried about bone loss than men, which to me, it's a little bit, I think men should be just as worried about it, because bone loss is, bone loss, doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. And it's something we should all be concerned about as we get a little bit older. But like I said, that's a whole nother video too. It's either caused by a lack of calcium or a diet that lacks absorption, like what we're getting back to that digestion thing. Calcium and supportive trace minerals have been shown to not only slow bone loss, but to actually increase bone density. And like I said, that's a whole nother video too, because this is kind of like the, just the raw foundation facts about calcium. Chelates in a good calcium supplement should also contain magnesium and boron. And in some cases, in many cases, trace minerals like copper and zinc, all of which play a real important role in absorption. I mean, if you don't have all of those working together, like I said at the beginning, that having those all work together really enhances the absorption and the transport of calcium to the bones and the teeth. When it comes to minerals, they're virtually all interrelated. They all have many, rely on the functions of each specific mineral, and they can't effectively take place in the absence of the other. And that's why this reason, Phoenix Nutritionals always does this and encourages you to take a full spectrum supplement that provides all the basic minerals so that they may be able to interact with each other. So if you have any questions or anything, please reach out to me. I'm here to answer any questions you may have. And that's basically the foundation of calcium. It's an amazing mineral and we all need it. And let's be honest, we're not getting it from our diet.